This reflection is about communication and relationships. It links to APST 3.5. During my lesson, I tried to build a warm classroom. I used the student's name. I asked open questions. I give positive feedback often. Good communication is not just talking. It's also about listening and watching how students react. For example, Jasmine said a standard currency means you can go anywhere and use it. I said that's a good answer. This kind of praise builds confidence and self-efficacy. I also use nonverbal communication. When a student told me she couldn't see the corn picture clearly, I walked closer to the camera. That showed her I noticed, and I was responding to her needs. Small actions like this build trust over time. By watching the record, I found mistake. That student's name is Savannah. I called her Samantha instead. She still answered my question, but it still matters. Every student deserves to be seen and respected as an individual. I also used questioning instead of just explaining. Vygotsky's theory says learning happens through talking with others. A teacher scaffolds inside the student's zone of proximal development. So instead of telling students the answer, I ask questions. They worked it out for themselves. This is social constructivism. Students build understanding together through talk, not alone. I also saw good peer behavior. Early on, Jasmine reminded Ethan to pay attention. She wasn't just followed a rule. She was modeling good learning behavior for him. Peer relationships like this support learning too. This kind of small peer support matters more than it seems in a busy lesson. My biggest weakness was time management. When students reminded me the recess bell rang, I rushed the ending. Students didn't get to share their final thoughts. That wasn't fair to them. I also should have let students explain the final idea in their own words, instead of rushing to close the lesson myself. Handing thinking back to students matters just as much as giving it to them in the first place. In the real lesson, I will use a timer to manage my pacing. I will use think, pair, share so more students can talk before we run out of time. And I will make learning every name a real priority. This reflection reminded me that teaching isn't just about content. It's about how we make every student feel valued.